Okay, hi third grade. I have my winter in a bottle, and today I'm going to finish this up. So hopefully you have thought about what we call a contour line. Okay, that's the outer edge of an object. And then inside we said, let's go ahead and make a little winter cottage, cabin, something to think about the winter time. I am going to take my Sharpie, and I used a Sharpie pen earlier, and I'm going to actually come in with a little bit thicker of a Sharpie to add a little more depth and darkness to my trees here. And the reason I'm doing that is I want my trees to really be a contrast against my sky. Now, I am thinking of a winter sky. I'm gonna think about maybe seeing northern lights in the distance. So I have my trees in there, perfect. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is, if you have a crayon, which you should have a white crayon at your home, you can use that. If you have oil pastels, you can also use that. I'm gonna say whatever you have, you can use. Now, the reason I am choosing these is I want to create some starry effect in the background. And I thought it would be a great way, since I'm using watercolors to move on, I thought it would be a great way to use and apply these. So I'm going to use my oil pastel first, but I'm going to create some small little flecks of stars. And I know right now you probably can't see it. I don't know if I pick it up, if maybe you can see, I don't know, because the white against the white. But oil pastels are made out of oil. Water and oil don't mix. They won't combine. Instead, the oil will push the water away. The same thing happens with a crayon. So I could actually come in and put a couple with my crayon. I did do like a little shooting star there. All right, so same thing. Crayons are made out of wax. So like when you think about candles, birthday candles and wax, if you put that candle in water, nothing will happen. The candle can't absorb the water because it's going to resist it. So these are two materials that are great when you want to show something almost like a magical secret, all right, when you use watercolor. So today, thinking about my sky, I'm actually going to focus on what we call our cool colors. So cool colors are purple, blue, and green. These are grouped together on the color wheel. And I'm thinking about my nighttime sky. Usually when I think about the sky at night, I do think about that blue color, and right next to it is my green. So if those combine, it's gonna make more of a turquoise, like a bluish green, and blue and violet will make a blue violet. Now the two colors you wanna be careful not to mix are purple and green. Those are both secondary colors and also known as cool colors, but the secondary colors, if you mix those, they will make brown, and I'm choosing not to have a brown sky right now. All right, so with my watercolors, I always encourage students, make sure you have a nice puddle in your color first, because I want to make sure this is nice and watery. So as I go in here with my blue, you can actually see as I'm painting where I had that oil pastel and crayon peeking through. Okay, so I'm gonna go right up to my trees. Now I want to also incorporate some green. I'm gonna do my very best to keep my paint inside my bottle. So I'm gonna add a little bit of green, and I'm thinking about putting the green more down towards the horizon, but then letting the blue and green combine a little bit up here so I get that bluish green color. And you can see how the two colors mixed, and it's kind of carrying and moving around my background here, which I love. Okay, have a nice variety. So I have my blue, and so I'm trying to use blue as the center so my green and blue can mix, and then my blue and violet can mix, because I do not want my sky turning brown today. Here, I'm gonna move in, have some violet. Sometimes you don't even have to paint, put a little up there. All right, so what I was gonna say is sometimes you don't even have to paint in small motions. I'm just kind of tapping my paintbrush, letting some of the colors come together. All right, so this is the step that you're going to work on. Now, I do not have salt here at school. A fun thing, since you might be at home working, if you go get a little bit of salt, like food salt, and just very carefully sprinkle it onto your night sky here, some of the watercolor will move towards that salt and connect to it, and you get some really fun textures and patterns in there just from that salt. So that is an idea. I don't have any, but I want to throw that out there in case you want to add a little bit more of that nighttime sky. The salt would add a little variation in your color. So that is very fun. So what you're going to do, finish this. We're gonna leave our whole scene as a black and white and let the sky be the focal point where our eyes are gonna go to. And so I'm gonna let this sit and dry. I'm gonna let these puddles dry, and then I'll show you how you can go ahead and move on with the next part. So have fun with this, enjoy, and I will be back very quickly. All right, bye-bye. Okay, third grade, so I have my watercolor, it's dry. What I did is I found a piece of black paper. You could use any color. I just grabbed this because it was a piece of scrap. I have some scissors and I grabbed a glue bottle. What I am going to do to finish my piece of paper, or my artwork, sorry, is I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm not gonna cut right on the line. I'm going to go and almost like create an outline of my bottle. So I'm cutting nice and slow. So leaving all of those lines that we created. And I like the quality it creates. It almost makes my bottle look a little bit more realistic as far as being glass. And also we don't lose the lines and the quality that we drew with that Sharpie. So leaving a little bit of space all the way around. Okay, and what's really fun is then when I go put this on my paper, it once again just adds to the finished product. So taking my artwork, I'm gonna flip it over. Now, when you use Elmer's glue, I can't stress this enough. You want to use a small amount. If I go and just squeeze it all over, especially putting it on black paper, it could just be a big oozy mess. So I'm just going to get a little bit of glue, all right? And I'm just going to really quickly, I'm not pushing hard at all. I mean, there's very, very little glue on there. All right, I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to flip it over, center it on my paper. You can even flip it over. I like to just rub, make sure it's nicely on there. You don't have to pound, just rub it, smooth it out, okay? I have no oozy glue, but this is just a fun way to think about that idea perspective, to review cool colors, sorry, I'm misspeaking today, I'm sorry, to review your cool colors. Also talking about just that quality of line that we did something called contour lines where we just focused on the outside of something, thinking about the shape. And so we just did a nice smooth line. So this is your finished product. Hopefully you have a crayon or oil pastel just to add to those stars. You can see how they are showing through that watercolor, very stunning. So have fun with this, make sure you share it. Like I said, if you have salt, you could sprinkle it in there and the salt will collect some of the watercolor and leave a nice texture to it. If you don't, I did not here at school, so I just did mine with some stars, just peeking through. All right, have fun and share your artwork. Have a great day, friends. Bye-bye.